Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn y como siempre, I am so grateful you are here and I'm so honored to receive and channel these messages for us and relay them to you, deliver them to you. I set the intention that the messages from this reading are dedicated to the growth, to the healing, the awakening, the ascension of all beings in all places, and I set the intention that those who are meant to receive the messages from this reading align to this video. So if you align to this video, then there may be some messages that you are meant to hear. This is our weekly energy reading for the week ahead, where we are gaining a deeper understanding and higher conscious awareness of the overall energies for this upcoming week and how we may navigate it as our higher selves. We do have a Virgo new moon this upcoming week on August 27th, so we're definitely going to be channeling the energies of that new moon and gaining clarity in regards to the new moon. And yes, I do have some guided journaling prompts for you coming very soon to my channel if it's not already there, depending on when it is that you are watching this reading. Normally, I shuffle my decks in front of you if you are new here, but if you are not new here, I won't be shuffling the decks because this is actually take 3 of this reading. Your girl is dedicated to get this reading to you, so I pray that this films and there are no technical difficulties this time because these messages are so beautiful. So I have the messages here ready for us, ready to go. I've cleansed myself, cleansed my space, opened my channel, and if you would like to cleanse yourself in any way, if you would like to grab some writing materials to write down any messages that really resonate with you, go ahead and grab those writing materials. Without further ado, let's get started. The incense is going. Let's go. Disclaimer, I do live in the city and there is construction next door, so there may be some neighborly noises in this video, but I affirm that we will remain centered and grounded throughout this reading. And I also do have some Hertz frequencies playing in the background. Okay, so the overall energy for this upcoming week is the protection guardian, to drop your shields. And what's really coming up for me in regards to dropping our shields is actually the encouragement for us to open ourselves up to receive, to open ourselves up to be more receptive to divine guidance, to divine intervention, to divine protection, to divine support. Because now is the time for us to be opening ourselves up and acknowledging the ways in which us being overprotective of ourselves is actually holding us back from the renewal, from the blessings, from the miracles that have been and are trying and will try to make their way to us. We are in a really significant renewal season. We have been, and the energies of July were very intense. The last full moon that we had was the last super full moon of the year. So this upcoming Virgo new moon will feel lighter, but there is this importance for us to, again, open ourselves up to really receive that light of this upcoming new moon and of this upcoming season as we continue to progress through this individual and collective ascension that we are going through. But it's time to drop your shields and acknowledge, yes, you may have put up these shields, you may have put up these walls, you may have put up these guards with the intention to protect yourself, right? It's still like an expression of love, but are they rooted in fear? Do you have certain walls up, certain guards up that are actually stemming from an outdated survival mechanism or defensive mechanism? Really be mindful of that. It's time to open yourself up to receive, and also it's time for you to know that you have a protection guardian. Just like we have a guardian angel, you have a guardian protection. You have a protection guardian guarding over you and your life and your path. And I say that confidently to you because I know that you're on this spiritual path because you're watching this video. Affirm the divine protection over you in your life. Affirm that you have this protection in other realms and other dimensions that are assisting you as you make yourself more open and more vulnerable. Because yes, you do need that protection, but it's important that the protection that we have over our lives is rooted in love and not rooted in fear. Because that's the higher timelines that we're ascending to. We're ascending to higher timelines where everything that we do and everything that we are is rooted in love and is not rooted in fear. And it's time for us to be tracking down our fears and our desires and getting really, really clear on that. Right? Because as we reflect on, okay, what is it that I need to do to really open myself up more, open my heart more, open my spirit more, to be more receptive, to be a pure, clear channel for the divine to move through, what are the fears that are getting in the way of that? What are the fears that are putting these walls up, these guards up, these shields up? And also, it's important for us to also be tracking our desires. And sometimes what you'll notice is that when you get clear on what your desires are, certain fears arise. Certain insecurities arise as you are thinking of what it is that you deeply desire. Like, have you found yourself thinking of something, a life, an experience, a relationship that you deeply desire, but then you have that other voice in your head that's rooted in fear that's telling you, you know, all the things that could go wrong, or why you shouldn't do it, or why it's not going to happen for you, or why you're not worthy of it, or you should be scared of it, or these obstacles that arise when we are going after the life that we deserve, which is the path that we're all on, right? We're all on the path of ascending to experience our higher potentials, and that requires this continued unfoldment and opening and opening and opening and opening. And as we continue to open and peel back more layers and more layers, it takes this vulnerability, it takes this courage, and it takes this devotion to just continue confronting the truth of what's getting in the way of you continuing to bloom and open yourself up. And also getting really clear and allowing yourself to be truthful on what it is that you really deeply desire. Because so many people in the collective have not been honest with themselves of like what it is that they really, really desire. They haven't allowed themselves to even think about it. Now is the time to allow yourself to do so. So embody the hunter, track down your fears, track down your desires, because the more that you become consciously aware of what your fears are, what your desires are, the clearer your direction will be. The clearer it is for you to know what it is that you need to take care of, what it is that you need to confront, what it is that you need to heal, what it is that you need to devote yourself to. And it's going to require you again to have this courage, to be more vulnerable, to find that strength in your softness, and be that warrior that again is rooted in love and not rooted in fear. And it's time to be fearless and stand strong. It's time to be fearless and stand strong. Like, really stand tall in your spiritual unfoldment, like really standing strong and being firmly grounded in your devotion to experiencing your highest potentials. That, to the point where you're standing so strong in it, it's a reflection of you being so deeply rooted in your healing, in your awakening, in your unfoldment, in this path, in this spiritual path that you are feeling called to lean into. It requires the warrior to come out of us when we do devote ourselves to our spiritual path. And when we know that we are moving in a new direction, it does require, again, that bravery, that fearlessness, that courage. And I'd like to make it clear that being fearless doesn't mean that you have no fear, right? Even when you break down fearless, it's that you have less fear. Why? Because again, you're standing strong, you're deeply rooted in faith and trust that you know you need not to fear, you know you need not to worry, you know you need not to stress, you know you need not to doubt. And you know that you are moving in a new direction. So what does that call of you? What is this direction you're headed towards calling you to do, calling you to become? Because we are all moving in a new direction as individuals and as a collective, and we can all see that. We've been witnessing that. We've been witnessing the collective moving in a new direction. And as we move in a new direction, it's important that we embody the high priest, the high priestess that exists within each and every single one of us. And the high priest energy is the energy of being very intentional. Why is it that I am doing what I am doing? Why is it that I am being what I am being? And sometimes when we are in that practice of being intentional, especially in the beginning, it requires us to slow down. Slow down so that we can be intentional. Slow down so that we do have those moments to ask ourselves, what is my intention here? Why am I doing this? Why am I choosing to be this way? And especially, being intentional with why it is we're creating what we're creating, both outside of us and within us. Because we know that what we create is incredibly powerful. It's beyond us. It doesn't just impact us, it impacts the world. And when we bring intention into what it is that we are creating, and that intention is rooted in love, we are creating something that is very high vibrational and very healing for the collective, as well as for ourselves, first and foremost. And all of this, us moving in a new direction, us opening ourselves up to be more receptive, is us rewilding ourselves, unleashing the wild within, the she-wolf energy. And what does it mean to rewild yourself? It means to untame yourself. In what ways have you found yourself tamed by societal and cultural programmings and conditionings? To untame yourself, to rewild yourself, to unleash the wild within, is to liberate yourself and allow yourself to embody your whole truth and nothing but the truth. And again, that takes a lot of bravery, that takes courage, that takes night energy. To be honest is to be brave. And that is really what really feels like the significant messages for us this upcoming week amongst the Virgo new moon. And as we bring this month of August to close, this is the last full week of August. One, it's letting go of the obstacles, the shields, the guards, the blockages in our lives with the intention to open ourselves up. So opening ourselves up is one of the biggest encouragement for us. And the other big encouragement for us is to continue really stepping into and embracing and embodying our whole truth. Our whole truth, and knowing that it is going to take bravery. It's going to take night energy. It's going to take warrior energy. It's going to take high priest energy. It's going to take she-wolf energy. And here we have the affirmation that truth is going to assist us in our challenges and obstacles. So should any challenges or obstacles arise this upcoming week, confront the truth of the challenge and the obstacle. right? This is a part of us tracking down our fears, that hunter energy, tracking down our fears and our desires. When a challenge or obstacle arises in your life, take that moment to ask yourself, what is the cause? What is the root of this challenge in my life? Get to the root of it. Get to the stem, because that is where you heal it, is the root. When we think of, when we're pulling weeds, we know that if we don't pull the whole weed with its root, it's just going to continue to grow. So you have to get to the root of things. And when you get to the root of things, you're getting to the truth of things. So what is the truth of the challenge and the obstacle that is before you, that may be before you? Wonders. A lot of the blockages that come from us closing ourselves off from the world is the blockage of, our ability to be as expansive as possible with our perception and seeing the awe and the wonder of life, of the life before us. This is the quartz energy of the miraculousness, the awe, the wonder that exists in all life, and our ability to tap into that. But knowing that we've got to, again, be expansive and be open with the way in which we perceive our life and the way in which our life is unfolding. Because regardless of how it is that your life is unfolding, it is possible for you to have the perspective where you are in just awe and wonder of how everything is unfolding for you. Because all is unfolding for your highest good. Like when you are really deeply rooted in that belief that all is unfolding for your highest good, you will be in a state of awe and wonder, regardless of what's unfolding before you. And it's important for you to take leadership over your life, right? Because at the end of the day, no one is going to do this work that you need to do for you. No one is going to be brave for you. No one is going to do the healing work that you need to do for you. No one is going to, do the work that you need to do for yourself. And ultimately, even if someone else did do the work for us, it's not going to be, and it would never be as powerful as us doing that work for ourselves. You've got to take leadership over your life. And sometimes when you think about challenges and obstacles in your life, like sometimes that challenge or obstacle is in your life because you haven't been, and you've been neglecting, and you've been avoiding being the leader of your life. Sometimes the cause of the challenges, the suffering in our lives is self-inflicted because we haven't been taking the reins over our life, taking the driver's seat over our life. It's time to be the leader of your life and take action. And again, I have to reiterate and bring this up again, that this is action that is intentional. This is action that is rooted in love and not in fear. Continuously be asking yourself when you are about to take action on something, when you're about to make a decision, when you're about to make a choice, is this action, is this decision, is this choice rooted in fear, or is it rooted in love? That prompt will work wonders on you and will really have you moving through life with a high level of conscious awareness and with great intentionality. And this card is beautiful that, it's been coming up a lot ever since the season of summer began. The card of delight, the energy of delight, of pleasure, of play, of joy, is incredibly helpful for us in times of challenge and uncertainty and difficulty. Because sometimes when we're going through a challenging season, we can get so fixated on the challenges that we become the energy of the challenge, and we need that higher vibrational energy to pull us out of that stagnancy, of that density, and uplift us. So delight is an energy that we are encouraged to tap into should challenges or obstacles be arising in your life, and just in general too. This is a season of allowing yourself to experience pleasure and delight, because as we are creating this new life for ourselves, as we are moving in a new direction, it's important that we begin to embody these experiences and these energies that we wish to desire. Don't wait for your circumstances to change, for the world outside of you to change, to begin experiencing and allowing yourself to embody and embrace the energies that you are desiring to call into your life. Call them in and bring them here and now into your life. Not in the future, right now. Experience delight. Right now, experience joy. Right now, experience pleasure, regardless of what you're going through and where you are in life. And tap into your wisdom. You are so much wiser now. You've learned lessons. Integrate those lessons and turn them into wisdom by, again, integrating them and practicing them and acting upon them. If you know better, do better, right? With greater conscious awareness comes greater responsibility, and that responsibility is to do better when you know better. And when you are integrating the lessons, when you are integrating the knowledge, when you are integrating the learnings into your life and into who you are, it does turn into wisdom, because it becomes that personalized experience that is coming from you and your life and what you're going through. Because it's one thing to learn something, but it's another thing to learn it and actually integrate it into your life and start moving with that learning. Start being that learning, and it turns into wisdom. But should challenges or obstacles be arising in your life, really turn to yourself. Stop, seeking out your solutions in other people. Stop seeking for all of that outside of you when it exists within. So what are we called to heal? We're called to heal our perception, which has come up, and know that there are unlimited possibilities for our unfoldment, for our becoming, for our healing, for our ascension. And again, a lot of these walls, these guards, these shields that we've put up that are rooted in fear do become these blockages that have us believing that we are limited. And when we look at this tree here, we acknowledge that with trees, there's unlimited ways that this tree can unfold, right? The branches can go in so many different directions. Certain branches can grow other branches. The leaves, how many leaves is each branch going to grow? We all reflect a tree. And we all reflect the same way that, there's unlimited possibilities in which this tree, in which ourselves can take shape. And there's so much beauty in that. There's so much beauty in the truth that there's so many ways, there is unlimited possibilities in which you can take shape into your highest potential. Don't be so fixated on one way, on one direction, on one, sometimes tunnel vision is great when it assists our focus, but we have to make sure that it's in moderation and we are taking those moments to be expansive and see the bigger picture. Because again, there are unlimited possibilities, there are unlimited solutions. And this week is a week of omens. This week is a week of omens. Look out for certain animals, numbers, images, objects, words that may be arising, that are being sent to you as affirmative messages from your spirit team, from the spirit realm, that are going to be guiding you in a very unique way, in a way that is unique to you and your path. And again, what does that take? It takes openness and it takes receptivity. You won't be as receptive to, again, divine guidance if you aren't dropping your shields. And transformation. This is just an affirmation that we are all going through transformation at this time. We are constantly transforming, constantly evolving. And we've got the caterpillar here. It looks like it's about to set up shop on this branch and begin its process of transforming into the butterfly. And we've got to honor every step of the process, every step of the journey of our evolution. Every single part, every single step can be as healing and as wondrous and beautiful and divine as we allow it to be. It is all sacred. Every single moment of your life is incredibly sacred. And it's important that we come to that awareness, because that awareness will be incredibly healing for us as we move through our transformation. So what are we called to surrender? We're called to surrender the idea that you can fix someone. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. Again, no one's going to be doing the work for you, right? And you shouldn't be doing the work, the healing work, the spiritual work, the awakening work for anyone else. Because honestly, like, this spiritual path isn't a path that is meant to be forced. It's an effortless path. It's an easeful path. It's a divine path that divinely unfolds in divine timing. So if you're trying to force change upon somebody, that's going against the flow of spirit. Let go. Let go of the idea that you can fix someone. Allow them to go through their karmic cycles. Allow them to go through their divine unfoldment. Allow them to experience their divine timing. And if the timing is not now, allow that to be so. Surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. What are you holding on too tightly? What are you holding on too tightly to the point where, again, it's a reflection of you closing yourself off? We've got to open ourselves up. And what does that opening, what does that receptivity require us to do? It requires us to surrender, right? Surrender. When we think of like surrender in like a physical form, we literally think of like this opening, surrender, right? Our body language is incredibly powerful. And you know, this is also like a reflection of like how a flower blooms and opens itself up. And when it does, how much beauty does that emit? Surrender your attachment to results. Stop. Be mindful of what it is that you're holding on to tightly and surrender to the flow of things. Surrender stubbornness, right? If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, a rigid perspective about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and with yourself. And lastly, surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. Again, be so deeply rooted in faith and trust that you wholeheartedly know you need not to worry, you need not to doubt, you need not to stress, you need not to fear. Let's get into these affirmations. I now create a wonderful new job. I am totally open and receptive. There we go again, open and receptive, being affirmed as we bring this reading to a close. to wonderful new position, using my creative talents and abilities, working for and with people I love in a wonderful location, and earning good money. Life is simple and easy. All that I need to know at any given moment is revealed to me. I trust myself. I trust life. All is well. Life is simple and easy, right? Again, being in that state of flow, being in that state of surrender, being in that state of receptivity, allowing the divine to move through you. I listen with love to my body's messages. My body is always working toward optimum health. My body wants to be whole and healthy. I cooperate and become healthy, whole, and complete. Our relationship with our body is incredibly important. Incredibly important, because our mind, body, and spirit are all deeply interconnected. I'm open, receptive. Here we go again. Openness and receptivity being yet again affirmed and highlighted and encouraged to new avenues of income. I now receive my good from unexpected and expected sources. I am an unlimited being, accepting from unlimited source in an unlimited way. I am blessed beyond my fondest dreams. Again, all that you desire in your life, you've got to let those fears go that are getting in the way, that are causing you to be closed off, because openness and receptivity is required. It is absolutely necessary for you to manifest the visions that the divine is gifting you. Every thought I think is creating my future. Yes, you are that powerful. Yes, your thoughts are that powerful. The universe totally supports every thought I choose to think and believe. I have unlimited choices about what I think. I choose balance, harmony, and peace, and I express it in my life. I feel like this affirmation is just an affirmation, a reminder that we have free will over our life, and that free will is an incredible gift from the divine, that we have the freedom to make our own choices, to think freely. We have the power to take control of our mind, of our thoughts. Reclaim that power, because it's incredibly powerful. Make the most out of your free will by being intentional with all that you do and all that you are. And my friends, we are deeply being called and encouraged to open ourselves up and be receptive to divine guidance, to divine flow, divine support, divine intervention, divine protection, divine timing, divine order. And that takes surrender. That takes hunting down, tracking down our fears that are causing us to have these shields up. We've got to drop the shields. It's going to take bravery. It's going to take courage. It's going to take us standing our ground. It's going to take that knight energy, that warrior energy, that high priest energy. And it's all within you. Thank you so much for receiving this reading. I pray that it gifted you clarity, confidence, comfort in some way, shape, or form. If you resonated with any message in particular, please let me know what it is that you resonated with in the comment section below. You already know I love connecting with you all in the comments. I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful. Bye.